What's going on, guys? Christian here from CK Wraps. Today I'm doing this video on a bulk PPF installation over top of the Hexus Blue Super Chrome, Gloss Blue Super Chrome. I did a previous video of this. This is part of an expandable series of PPF videos to give you guys a broader range of installation videos. This way you can reach out to other customers. Not everyone wants a color change. Sometimes it's just better to do the installation yourself as opposed to passing it off to a contractor. So I'm going to show you how to install paint protection film. You're going to need a few things for this. You're going to need some kind of a spray bottle. I have this. Amazon, guys, if you really want to invest in something, just get a, this is a 2-gallon, roughly 8 liters of space or fluid in here. That's soapy water, and the measurement is 2 milliliters of baby shampoo per 1 liter baby shampoo per 1 liter. Okay, so the pump, the bottle itself of baby shampoo specifically is, one pump is about 1 milliliter. So put 2 pumps per liter. There's 8 liters in here roughly if you fill it to the top. So obviously with something like this, you're gonna wanna fill it to the top. This way you know your measurements. Mine's not quite full to the top, so I put 1 less pump, but you're gonna see. It's gonna be challenging, it's not gonna be that easy. So we're gonna need the soapy water and a canister to spray. We're going to need a spray bottle. Some small ones, I'm a goof. I bought bottles and these are only 500 milliliters. I wish they were 1 liter. Anyways, is what it is. This is just plain water in here, guys. Nothing fancy at all. This is our tack solution, what we're gonna be using to tack the edges down if so needed. We use the water to rinse away the soapy water at the edges. This allows the film to usually stick down a little bit easier. Now, when it comes to doing paint protection film, this front bumper actually already has it on it. So I've wrapped over it and then I'm rewrapping paint protection film over top of it again. Not every area is covered, okay? But let's look at where the paint protection film line ends. So right here, guys. You see, this is a plotted out bumper. Right here, that's where that ends too. So there's actually a cut. Maybe they bolt it, I have no idea, but there's a line right here. This actually makes my installation not look as pretty. There is some bugs here still, so I'm gonna actually go over this. I went over and clay barred it, but clearly I wasn't thorough enough right there. So I'm gonna clay bar it again, and that's pretty much it. What you also need, guys, is a squeegee. So I'm using Sign Maker Tools Ape Duo Green Squeegee. This guy right here. It's just all personal preference depending on what you want. This is what I'm using. It fits in your hand really nicely. It's highly conformable. It's just rubber, or whatever it's made out of. Maybe I'm wrong. There's a combination of materials here for sure. So one side is more rubbery, one side is a little bit more rough. It's like, looks like a combination of materials to me. Couldn't tell you exactly. Anyways, works well, does the job. Okay, so you can see there's soap in the water, okay? Cool. So we can see that's nice and wet. We want to flush out the edges here and stuff like that. So let's do that. Let's get all of the dirt and any loose particles out of the edges. It's mainly really important because you don't want to have anything floating around in there. I'm just gonna put my cloth down. Make sure your hands are a little bit wet if you're touching the film. So we're gonna pull that back. Look how much easier this is to do on a table, okay? We're gonna pull that back a bit. We're gonna wet it. Done. Let's pull it back a little bit more. Cool. Let's keep going. Let's get this over here, and you're gonna see what's gonna go on right now. We're gonna take this and just drape it right on there, okay? What we have to do now is we have to actually wet the surface. I put my 4K head camera on, but I think that this camera will be good for all of this right now. I have really good lighting on this side, and I think it'll show you a lot of what's happening here. Okay, so we have a lot of vinyl. You can see there's tons of PPF here, way too much. Let's mist the exterior, okay, important, because we need our squeegee to slide. If our squeegee isn't sliding, it's gonna be problematic. So let's take this now and anchor it. Look at that. Push firmly, guys. Okay, come through here, same thing. Look at this. okay? What we have to be mindful of is like down in here where we're going to maybe potentially get some slack. It's okay, we're gonna be fine. So watch what happens right around here. Again, being firm with your pressure is very important. Now I have way too much vinyl, so let's just trim off a whole bunch of it. A nice sharp blade is key. I have a very sharp blade right now. It's still difficult to puncture this. You can see that. Let's come all the way down, all the way under here. Cool. It's coming along. Let's now make an adjustment here, watch. We have to get this squeegee down. And again, making sure everything is super tight. This is going to have to pull this way. Watch. I'll even lower the camera a little bit more so I want you guys to see more. Okay, so that should be anchored enough for me to pull it, watch. Check that out. See what's going on here? Right. So let's come across. Let's keep the film semi-tight. You're gonna see that I'm bunching up right here. It's okay, we're gonna be fine. Watch what we're gonna do. I'll show you, we're gonna do a relief cut right through here. So again, being extra thorough, making sure that that film is really stuck to the bumper or to the chrome. We're gonna come up through here, watch this. See that? I'm gonna pull right here. Come right through here, check that out. Look at that. Come right through there. Boom, looks freaking beautiful. This is lifting a bit here because soapy water, okay? But it's okay, go over a few passes and you'll be fine. Now what we should do is we should actually take a clean rag. I just had one. I think I put it over here. And we're gonna wipe some of this off so we can see what's, and make sure we squeegee everything properly, okay? It's very important, it's another important part of it. We don't wanna leave big air or big water bubbles behind, just problematic. So far, it's looking really good. Yes, inside there, it's gonna start to dry out. So we have to move at a particular pace, not too slow, not too fast. Let's go right here, look. I'm gonna lay it in there, look at that. I'm laying into the recess as much as I can. I'm pushing, and I'm doing several passes. It's honestly not that hard, guys. It's just a little different at first because we're using soapy water underneath it. So when you're doing this, and I've been setting you guys up for stuff like this for a long time now. Look at that. So again, pushing really firm. And if I find that I need a relief cut, then I'll do a relief cut. But right now, I didn't need one. Check that out, right? Now I have a black speck of something here. Let's get that out. The hands are wet, gone. I think I got it. Let's make sure it's not on the actual bumper either. Cool, perfect. When we're doing this, and you're washing this out, make sure you really wash out the grill and stuff like that with your shampoo, with your solution, because that's gonna help. Now, what are we gonna do about here? Watch. We're gonna cut right through here, watch this. So somewhere in the middle here, not too high, not too low, poke through. Come all the way through. Now, anything around the other side of the bumper, it doesn't matter, guys, because it's around the bumper. It's not gonna get hit by a stone. So don't even worry about that. Okay, let's take this now. Let's lift it up. Okay, so let's lift this up. Let's pull this tight. And again, where most PPFs would get a glue line doing that, we're not gonna get any glue lines. Will we get some dirt? Maybe, who knows? I doubt it though. But if we get some dirt, that's more our fault. If we get a glue line, that's more of the paint protection film. So here, you might have noticed already that I had some lifting. That's okay. Let's take all this and let's squeegee all of this out really firmly, guys. Like I cannot stress that enough. Check that out. Look at that. That's like, it's like basically done. I mean, this is a smaller piece, but you're getting the idea. What can I say next? What we're going to have to do at some point is give the edges, like up here, if we want to roll them around, give them some time to dry out. We want them to dry out. We want to roll the PPF around a little bit, especially in some areas. Now over here, this is where they did the relief cut, as you can see. Yeah, I can see it right now. They cut right through here and they did a relief cut. There's going to be an exposed area. Now, can we put a piece of PPF in there afterwards? Yes, you can. If you match it really nicely, you can put a piece of PPF in there afterwards and match them up. It's a little bit more tricky to do, but you can do it. Will I do it? I don't know, maybe. I don't think I mean, who knows? I say it now, the stone won't hit it, but you never know. So let's do our relief cut here. If you see a line here, it's because I have my blue chrome, and that's because of the seams. So let's do our cut. And this is basically a cut and drop, guys. So see how I didn't cut through the film, but look, it should tear. See how it's tearing? Right there. Maybe not enough. I just ran my blade very lightly. Let's just make sure it's really sharp. It should be really sharp. Pretty sure I just snapped one off before this video. But let's just do that one more time. I have to run it, so I'm gonna be in your way for a second. I have to run it in the exact same line. Otherwise, the PPF is gonna look junky. I didn't. It's okay though, I'll fix it afterwards. Okay guys, where we're running into tension is right here. So where they did another relief cut was right here. What am I gonna do about this top area here? I'll show you. We're gonna alleviate the tension there also. So let's do that. Let's lift it off of the panel, the opposing panel, and let's PPF right into there, right into that recess. Check that out. Boom. It's just so beautiful. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trim some of that PPF off because obviously there's too much here and there's a lot of weight to it and it's actually pulling it off of the area that I want the PPF to stick to. So always lifting the PPF away from the car or lifting your vinyl away from the car helps. Let's stick that back down again. And this very top edge here, as it did before, didn't have PPF on it, so I probably won't be able to even do it myself. And it won't adhere fully, okay? It won't adhere fully here because there's a little bit of tension and it's just not gonna work until the edges dry out. What you can do is move on to the other side and do the same thing all over again, get everything set up, get it all rolling, get it all going. Let's make sure my relief cut here is far enough. It doesn't appear to be far enough. We have to literally go all the way down to like here. Awesome. So the top section here, I'm very close to where they were actually. So they might have bulked this. They might have done this without using a plotter. Because I'm very close to where they did theirs. I can see it. I mean, is it gonna look bad? No, it's just an unprotected area. So I'm pushing, pushing, pushing. Again, always making sure that the surface is still a little bit wet. Lift this up, make sure that we're not running into any tension. And do we have to come right around that back corner there? Nah, not really. Again, as it dries, it's going to be easier for those edges to stick down. Let's trim away a whole whack of this here. because we don't need all this either. It's just too much. So templating your PPF and getting a plotter and getting the software with the, with the shapes and the sizes and everything that you need to wrap the panels saves you vinyl, saves you PPF. Just trying to stay away from that piano black. When they did the front end PPF on this, they did not include the piano black. And we're just gonna get rid of a lot of this vinyl because I'm that kind of person that hates having too much. Kicking around the edges. I mean, how hard was that, guys? There's no glue lines in the PPF because of the PPF that we're using. Also, your installation techniques do help in ensuring that you're not getting any glue lines. So you could, I've tried using really poor quality PPF before, and it's next to impossible to get down really nicely. There might be ways, I just don't know them. This, on the other hand, is much more forgiving. So if you're getting into this business, it's way more forgiving. What we can do at the top here, around this top edge, is we can begin to squeegee some of that water out and hope that that helps accelerate the drying process. So right around here, it's sticking really nicely because there's no tension. But right up here, because it becomes a bit of a compound curve, right up here, it's tending to want to pull back a little bit. Even these guys, whoever did it last, did not go right in there. For the bottom here, what we can do is we end up, and these guys only went to the very bottom too, so maybe it was templated. I don't know. What they did is they didn't even go to the very bottom. They just went to like just before the edge. I should have shown you guys all that stuff. I'm gonna do this even better. I mean, they could have done this in bulk. Let's get some water in here. Right in there. That's what I'm trying to do. And get that area pushed out. Yeah, we're washing the soap away when we're doing this. Over here, let's get some water behind here. I want it to dry at the same time, but I also want to wash some of that soap out of there. See if we're any better off getting some of that around. Yeah, it's a little bit better with the water in there. Right here, I'm gonna leave myself about 1/4 of an inch to wrap around. So my edge inside is somewhere like right there. I'm gonna leave myself a little bit extra to wrap around. I'm gonna try and make this cut straight. Now that I think of it, I think they did do this bulk because their cut inside here was not perfectly straight. No one can see that, but just an observation that I made. Trying to stay the other way, sorry. Just take your time with this stuff, guys, especially when you're cutting. We're not using masking tape and stuff. Could you? Yeah, I mean, you just don't need to. Okay, so this edge here, we can let it dry out, and then we'll be able to wrap it around a little further. Same thing with all that. I'm just kind of looking to see where they went down to, because I might as well. It's gonna help me gauge where they did their cut and drop. Just somewhere, something like this. Whether it was a machine or by hand. I didn't even put my blade on it. It's being too cautious. Whether it was a machine or by hand, it was done like this. All right, cool. Check it. Now here is going down a lot easier. See? Feel that water in there. Let's get some of that water out of there. See what's going on? This is gonna help it dry a little bit faster. Check that out. And we're always starting, see how I'm starting from the bottom? I'm coming over that edge. That's also very important. Now what we can do is, I'm gonna trim. Watch, I can see their PPF line. We're gonna trim pretty much right where their PPF line is. I went a little bit lower. Again, I have no idea if it's plotted the piece that was here or if it was bulked. Could have been either. Because it ended up going down very similar to the way I bulked it. So there's a good chance they might have bulked this, which is exactly what we're doing right now. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my knife right here and run that out. There we go. See, look at that. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. That was my bad. This will go right back down. Just run your finger right through it. Starting from about here. Again, I can see exactly where they cut or where they had their template at. Guess my blade wasn't sharp. I don't know how it wasn't sharp, but it wasn't sharp. Trying to just lift up here to alleviate tension. Cool. Now it's going down really nicely. Let's keep going. A little bit more to go around here. Again, as it dries a little bit more, it'll get a little bit easier to get a bunch of those fingers out of those edges. Just pushing down right there as I did my relief cut. Yeah, so my knife definitely wasn't sharp enough because it's cutting like butter now. So that was my bad. And as I said to you guys earlier, you're gonna wanna make sure your knife is super sharp. I wasn't joking. So again, I snapped mine off. I thought it was. And if you find that it's not scoring nicely, then snap another blade off. Lesson learned. I was confident that my knife was good, but I guess it wasn't. Get that out of the way. Okay. We're just gonna finish off pushing down the fingers that are on the underside. These are like the easiest ones to do, so. I'm gonna take this and trim it right across the bottom. Pull some of it. That's gonna help prevent the bubble that was coming back here. I know you guys probably couldn't see that one. We're almost there as far as doing this goes. Let's get under here. Lay down. Make sure we're pretty clean and tight across the bottom. We are. I'm around the edge, which is nice. You know, it's if the stone hits something under here, we're covered. Potentially even if the customer grazes it against something, maybe a curb or whatever, it happens all the time. Let's do right here. This should be pretty dry. And I'm cutting just slightly above where the PPF already was. Taking my time. Cool. Let's take a bit off here. Good. Get all that. Beautiful. trying to match where I was. I'm gonna push that down a little bit, just like that. Get that nice and tight. Let's keep going all the way down here. Let's get the rest of this off. Awesome. That might be a little bit wet there still. It's a little bit wet underneath as well. Those edges will go down nicely though afterwards. Top here, let's push all the air out. It's the last little bit. Now there might be a little bit of air because I have so many layers here. I have PPF, then I have chrome, then I have PPF again. So it's really, really difficult to get all of the air out. Some of it might dry out, some of it might not. But if you look really closely, you're gonna see that. And that's more or less the whole thing. Just so you guys can see the other side. This is pretty much gonna be ready to go right now. So this is what I started doing on the other side. And I did some trimming, but that's more or less what's going on right now. I'm gonna finish that up and then this thing's out of here. So that will show you the bulk installation. Having the table is really handy, tools that you need, some soapy water, and so on. I'll have to let this dry a little bit more still, push down the remaining edges, and that will be finished. As you can see, it turned out really clean. There's nothing going on, no problems with it. It's gonna look good, it's gonna last forever, and it's also gonna protect the paint, protect the wrap that's on there right now. Customer won't get a stone chip on here again. I almost guarantee it. If something hits it hard enough, sure, but anything could happen. But again, this shows you how to do the bulk installation, front bumper, or just a panel in general without using a plotter. I'm gonna show you guys more of this stuff. I also have a templated section for the front bumper on my Jaguar, which I'm gonna show you what it's also like to do a pre-cut template and show you how to install that. Guys, I hope the video was informative and helpful in showing you what to do as far as paint protection film goes. I'm looking forward to doing a lot more of these videos for you. Again, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Take care.